Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about something that potentially might be contentious to you, how there's no such thing as a liberal Catholic. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti, Amen. Gloria Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancto, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper et secula seculorum. Amen. All right, so this episode might rile up some feathers, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but we don't live in a bubble. We clearly know that there are conservative Catholics and liberal Catholics as a whole. If I had to delineate a sketch, conservative Catholics tend to be more weekly mass goers, and they tend to follow more of the teachings of the church, whereas liberal Catholics as a whole statistically don't attend church as much, and they want to have some things changed. Now, this is just the same way as in politics, right? It's no different. And I would tell you that there's no such thing as liberal Catholics. In short, you're either a practicing Catholic or you're not. It's one of the two. I'm not saying you're not a Catholic, because if you're baptized, you are a Catholic. Even those who leave the faith and are the second biggest denomination in the U.S. following Catholic, they're still Catholic by their baptism, but they're not Catholic by their practice. So what are some signs of the liberal Catholics? Well, I mean, you could see what was going on early in the summer with the German schism, a lot of things that they want. So female priest, for example, gay marriage, they support gay marriage. They tend to be much more supportive of abortion, even though they might pull I personally wouldn't do it, but who am I to get in the way of someone to do it, which is just like the epitome of hubris and cognitive dissonance. What else? Divorce and remarriage, they're cool with that. We have an episode on that. Anybody essentially receiving the Eucharist, you don't have to be Catholic, and certainly if you are a Catholic who divorced and remarried, never got an annulment, you should be receiving it. And look, there's a lot more. There's a lot more of these kind of signs of the liberal Catholic. And what I would tell the liberal Catholic is, look, I think you probably have a good heart, but you have a misinformed conscience. And I would tell you, like the episode we did here, the church left me, I didn't leave the church. I would say that you have too much of this world in you. Remember, we're supposed to be in this world, not of this world. And I would tell you that you've been too, and I mean this in all charity, you've been too vitiated by secular humanism and postmodernism without even knowing it. Now, some of you are truly change agents and you want to undermine the church, but most people are just well-intentioned, but they're misinformed and they're ignorant. And so, I mean, it's just lack of knowledge, right? So what would I tell the liberal Catholics? I would tell you, first of all, I mean, you're not being obedient to Holy Mother Church. And again, I've mentioned this before. How do you expect your children to be obedient to you if you're not obedient to your God or your church, right? So we made certain vows to our church, and you're not being obedient to them. You have hubris and pride as a cafeteria Catholic. Oh, I like this about the faith, but I don't like this about the faith, and I don't like this about the faith. And look, man, we were all there. I tell you, as a man, right, the spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. But I was there. So I'm not coming from a place of judgment. But we're all on our own road. We're on our path. We're all trying to purge sin as much as we can. And I want to tell you that you need to be obedient to the church. The church is protected by the Holy Spirit. We know that, especially in faith, of course, in faith and morals. And so the church isn't wrong about not having female priests, or the church isn't wrong about Protestants not being able to receive the Eucharist. And certainly the church isn't wrong about the sanctity and inviolability of life. And the church isn't wrong about not supporting gay marriage. You're wrong. And I know that's hard, but remember, we've got 2,000 years of protection from the Holy Spirit and magisterial teaching and infallibility on the traditional Catholic side, so to speak. Not to say there's not problems with the traditional Catholic side, but that's what they got. You are gleaning too much from negative things that have affected and infiltrated the church, and you're certainly too much of this world. So I would please exhort you, read up and try to understand. This is what I tell Protestants or fallen away Catholics in particular. Read up. Why does the church believe in pro-life? From conception to natural death. Why does the church believe that Protestants shouldn't be receiving the Eucharist? Why does the church teach everything? Read it with an open mind, with humility. Right? But blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are the meek. Don't have arrogance and judgment about it. And ultimately, be obedient. You don't have to agree with everything, but you have to be obedient. I have to be obedient, right? Let it be done to me according to thy word. Christ in the garden, right? Just obedience. I don't get it. I don't understand God's divine plan for a lot of stuff. I don't understand the deep nuances of the Trinity, but I'm obedient to the church as much as I can be. And I would tell you, liberal Catholics, you're in rebellion. You're in rebellion, and you think you know better than Holy Mother Church, and you don't. And you're on a slippery slope, and it can lead to really bad places. So I would tell you, please examine your conscience. Please inform your conscience, and ultimately be obedient to the wisdom that's in the deposit of faith of Holy Mother Church. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you disagree or agree. If you're a liberal Catholic, please, I'd like to hear from you. Please hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. It helps the algorithm send it to like-minded people. Share with like-minded people. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.